All right, here we go.
There we go.
Okay.
All right. So, why don't you tell us the origin of Christmas and the traditions that you found and maybe your favorite things about Christmas? Just because we know that's when we all get together and that's a big deal.
Well, the thing that you guys had to deal with when we first started Christmas was we were so broke that we had to figure out how to enjoy Christmas without really having to spend too much money on it. Because, well, we were in California.
And you just moved there?
Yeah, so we had to fly Trev, Christine, and John from Salt Lake.
Okay.
So that was a big one. And then, so you guys would all have your breakfast, your Christmas at home with your mom.
Yep.
And they with their dad. And then they'd fly in, and we'd do it Christmas night. And that's with no money. And so we kind of started out, if you remember, with themes. Do you remember that?
Well,
Pathetic presents with themes.
Well, it all started with your guys' run for you, too.
Oh, that's right.
Your run,
That's
right?
yeah.
And we did the run at $20 a piece.
Right. And
Yeah.
you would get combs and things,
Yeah,
right?
we each had $20.
As much as you could get.
And we start in the,
Yeah.
as a matter of fact, we would start in that mall where we're going to meet Claude and Marky
Yeah.
up in Whittier.
Right.
Not the Quad, the other one. Up the
Yeah.
road. And Marsh would be on the left-hand side, and I'd be on the across this way, and we'd go like this, and we cross like this, and go around, and then we'd be...
Pat, I don't know how he ever did it, but he'd always find a place where if you bought a certain thing and then bought two of them or something, you'd get something free. So invariably, I'd get like 2 combs, and then I got a free fingernail file, and it counted.
So you had the best bang for your buck.
Yep.
Buck.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's, I think, how it started. But
And we never went over $20, because that's about all we had.
Right.
well, and the thing about, I think the thing with you guys, because you basically did pretty good at home, and because when you came to our house, you knew it was going to be funny. Now, maybe not in a good way,
Right.
but there was enough of you, and you were old enough that you could sit and laugh about it and not expect to get your ace gift that you wanted for Christmas that year.
Well, the first Christmases were pretty much, it wasn't all of us. It was just fragments of us, correct?
Right. Well, the first couple of Christmases, there was only Christine, Trev, and John.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Camille was the first one to maybe get involved.
I don't think she came without you. I think you two came.
But I was
same.
one of the last ones to meet you.
Yeah, because Camille,
Yes,
Camille
yes, you
was
were.
for...
I was
yeah.
one of the last
Yes,
ones to
you
meet
were.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Camille was...
So Camille was kind of, but I don't know if it was a Christmas thing. Maybe,
No,
yeah.
no,
Maybe
no.
she wasn't. But so
And then Chad. See, I met
Chad was in there.
you met Chad before me.
Chad might have been the first one that came over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he helped you move or some
Right.
moving thing.
Yeah, Chad
helped
might have been the
with.
first one over for Christmas.
Right. Okay. Wait. So really, the theme started after you moved up here, and it was a full family when we picked names and things like that, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Well, that was two different. Yeah, it was two different things.
Two different things, definitely.
Yeah, we just tried to figure out how to get something when we were
Right,
in
it kind of,
California.
yeah.
I mean, that was when we were eating on $3 a
Yes.
day. Yeah.
Well, okay, wait. So tell
because
us.
I'm trying to think, when did you ever come to Christmas down there? You never.
I don't
did,
think I
did
did. I may have once. I may have seen and this brings the theme or the subject, you have to say how the Christmas cookies started. And what you guys did and why they were the way they were.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the Christmas cookies started the very first Christmas that I was in California, and Pat wasn't even, I mean, he would call Camille and go down to the house to see you guys.
Right.
But you guys weren't coming to the apartment at all. So we were sitting around, and Christine and John and Trev didn't come until Christmas night.
Right.
So we had the whole Christmas
Just you guys, yeah.
with just us, yeah. And one night we sat and looked at each other and said, let's bake cookies. So we started, well, first, before the sugar cookies started, I had a recipe for ginger snaps. I loved them.
And we tried to make, that's right.
Well, my
30 years ago, yeah.
our neighbor, when I lived at home, made us ginger snaps that were unbelievable and brought them over, and I had that recipe. So I got the recipe out, and it's like,
awful.
well, it was like, that's how I cook, though, and that's what I was trying to tell somebody the
I
other
was
day.
so excited. This was like our first,
You
like,
know,
She everything.
well, no, it was like our
from
first
scratch.
grown-up thing we'd ever done. Because we
And
never
Very
did anything.
domestic. It was
Well,
very
we
domestic.
never did anything growing up.
Right.
well, we lived in an apartment behind a Ralph's, and so my first attempt at they were awful. Well, and it's because we were reading the recipe wrong and not doing the
Sifting,
flour,
yes, of
sifting
course,
the
yes.
flour, and the set a C, and
Yeah, I remember
I didn't
that. They
know
were
it was a
awful.
cup, and we put something else in it, or I mean, it was just awful. So when it came out awful, I said, these are awful. We got to go. And so I'd send Pat to the store and buy everything for a whole new recipe again.
Right.
And so he'd come home.
And that was our budget for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Right.
I think we did it 3 times, and we finally said, we're not doing that anymore. And that's when we bought a thing of sugar cookies.
The cut
And that's
cookies.
how, and that's how sugar
And
cookies.
Yeah.
and they were all primary colors.
Yeah.
No
we
Christmas
had,
colors,
no,
primary
no.
colors.
We had what? There's 5 primary colors in a coloring thing.
Red,
Red, blue, green, yellow.
That's it.
Yeah. So that's what color they were.
Right.
And we had a big plate of red, green, yellow cookies.
And that's where it all started.
Yep, that's where it started.
And that's why everybody has cookie night to this day,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And how long has that been?
30 years, 29 years.
At least 25.
Well, it's more
because
than
yeah,
25.
because as long as you guys were together, almost.
Well, and it's been it's been 31 years
Wow.
this year.
Wow.
So it's
It's been,
Yeah.
28, 29, 30.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, this tradition.
Because the first year we probably couldn't even afford the.
Now
we couldn't-
I have
Yeah.
I have a question. Do you have that one ginger snap recipe anyway?
yes, but I've never tried to make it
You know
again.
what you need to do?
What?
You need to have each of the girls, meaning Veronica, Christine,
Yeah.
and Bray, on their own, make that recipe for them, and let's have one.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think, well, I know Veronica would. I don't know whether Christine would.
Why? Because
Well,
there's lard in it or something?
I'm trying to think if the kids have eaten those and liked them or not.
Well, but it's for you to try it and see who makes
Well,
the one
we
that
don't
you
care-
remember.
we don't
Yeah.
care
If
about the little kids.
No,
Well,
the kids
and
can still have the other ones.
let me tell you, if I gave it to John and Bray, you know who would make them?
Would be John.
It would be John.
Then John. So John, step
I
up.
love you, Bray. I love you,
No,
Bray.
but you know what? That would be great to get that recipe. Because
Yeah.
it would be great to see if somebody could make them
Yeah.
how you remember them.
And they were so
I love ginger
good.
snaps.
I do too. And they were the chewy kind.
Oh, I love them.
That you just
Little
just
underbaked.
mushing. Oh,
Yeah, those
They
are
were the
good.
most pathetic cookies when we
When
made
you
them.
guys
we
did
made.
it, yeah.
Oh, God,
No,
yes.
you need to get that recipe. That's your. You
Yeah.
need to find that in the next couple of weeks.
Well, in
3
fact,
weeks.
because I wrote to Wanda and I said, we're trying to make your cookies. Could you send me the recipe again just in case I wrote it down wrong or something? She just went, are you kidding me? and yeah, sent it to me again.
Okay.
So
Let's see. So what's your favorite thing about Christmas?
the kids.
Okay.
Well, and let me tell you why. We've gone through, I was having to cry, we've gone through a whole thing of not having any money,
Right.
being in a place where we had to choose and move it around to make sure we could have all the
Right.
kids that we could get. And you find out Christmas doesn't mean anything unless kids are good.
Right.
And, you know, we went through not being able to give them nothing but crap,
Right.
basically. So we had to try and make the crap as
Sure.
good as we could.
Sure.
And the kids, we got to just say, you guys
Everybody
made it.
took it
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, you did.
Everybody did take it well.
Well, and then for us, the kids, not the little ones, but it was our little haven especially when we came up here, and I think that's when it became what we love even the most, and I think that's when we become nostalgic because we know there was probably about 9 years where it was we looked forward to it. That was our time. We didn't do anything. It was just family, home, coming up here, and
Yeah.
and still great. But I think for me, that's what
Yeah.
our little.
Yeah.
That's,
Well, and I think you guys were age-wise perfectly fit between each other so that you mixed well when you all met.
yes,
And some were older and some were younger, and the ones that needed to be, like, I don't think you would have mixed as well if Christine hadn't been older than Camille.
Right.
Because Camille was in a space in her life
Yep.
where she was.
yep,
And again, I think that's why everything worked like we wanted it to work. And it did. And the kids didn't take Christmas as seriously as they did at home.
Right.
As far as
right.
oh
what
my-
are we gonna get? Yeah,
oh my God.
it was more the
Yeah.
time spent together.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah.
I mean that's what it was.
Well, they came to expect junk. I mean, it got to the point over the years where I don't even know when it turned. Well, we still don't buy great presents.
Oh,
but
guess what I found up in the closet the other day?
What?
The
A cookie.
original Mallow Master.
Oh my goodness.
The original one that I got that I think I bought each one, and that
Yes.
was a major price for me to buy one for each of you guys. And I found the one that he originally gave me, Mallow Master.
I think that needs to be brought out.
Yep.
Mallow Master.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was stuff like that wasn't wasted on you guys.
Right.
And I know we've told the stories to a lot of older people, and they just look at us and go, "Are you kidding me? You gave that to your kids for a Christmas present, or they really did that?" The kids are doing, because it really was a really different, special time that we needed.
Right.
well, some people don't understand the things we give or gave.
Yeah.
You know, and even today, like I was saying, our gifts aren't that great, but they are a step up from where we started.
Well, I've still got a $10 rule that there's
You're doing
nothing.
it. You're
and
doing
there's
it, baby.
Nothing you can buy in some, for $10. But I mean, it still gives us a reason why,
That gives me a reason to wrap a whole bunch of presents.
Well, and the other thing I tell everybody is, but they know that any present they can get, they can trade it to anybody, give it away, re-gift it, do anything they want, because I didn't buy it seriously enough that I expect them to ooh and on, oh my God, this is the best thing I've ever. I don't expect that.
Right.
So they know, the kids.
This year might be different. There may be a few ooh and ahs
Oh
this
wow.
year.
Well,
No,
we've heard.
it won't be different.
Not this year.
No,
well, maybe
no, it
next
won't be
year
different.
then.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. All
So-
right. Okay.
But it took, again, I think that is what it took for the kids to be okay with things and not expect some of the stuff that they might have expected had we tried to do it right, exactly perfect and everything about it.
And nobody's hurt now.
Right.
I mean, nobody expects anything great, and nobody gets upset and
In
feels
fact,
bad
if
or
they
anything.
can make fun of everything they get for Christmas, they don't feel bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think on one reason why I think our holidays mesh with yours, you're somebody that Christmas kind of starts December 1st. You know, we're doing the tree. You guys do the tree. You do, you know, you make sure you have enough time. So it's not really that day. It's kind of the whole
Right.
month.
Right.
And what we do. I
And
think that's a
making
big-
Christmas cookies.
and you know, you see each other. You might have a party there, or you might have something in between. And I mean, because some families don't do it. It's just that day.
Well, and especially after you guys got old enough, and Christine having the Christmas Eve, and you know somebody else having what we now. John has the Christmas
cookies.
cookies.
The cookies,
And
yes.
so it's spread out enough that it is the whole month
Yeah.
at somebody else's house, and they know they've got to do it. They can plan it. And, yeah.
Do you
Makes a
remember
big
we made
difference.
Christmas cookies one year at my apartment?
Yes.
That's in California.
I remember that.
And you have that cookie on your tree, don't you?
Yes.
Right, because I put a cookie up
On
on the
top
top
of
of the
the
refrigerator
refrigerator.
because
Yeah.
I didn't have space,
Yeah.
and I found it 3 months later. Petrified.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's where the Christmas cookies.
That's where they
Well,
began.
and you know, I think that is something that I think a lot of our success in having blended families and having them get along as much as they do has happened, not that we knew what we were doing at all, but just the circumstances of how old the kids were, what they, how they blended in with the other kids, where they didn't have the competition and they could still do, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And because I think that is a big part of why we did what we needed to do with the blended family.
Right.
So,
No, I think those first few years up here kind of sealed the deal on Christmas for a lot of us, and that's what we go for. Because nobody really had boyfriends, girlfriends during that
no,
time,
that's true.
and
Yep.
Chad and Sherry thought we laid around all the time, which we did. That one year they came up.
Well, but they were going to find out, or they were going to find. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, they saw what it was like.
Yeah.
And that's all they could do.
Yeah,
And that's what we did, and that's what it was.
it was. I mean, it was what it was.
I mean, we
Yeah.
didn't change for anybody.
right? No, and
Yeah.
it was a good time. So
Yeah.
that's why we love it still.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
But we
good.
need ginger snaps. We need the recipe. Okay.
God.
I'll go dig them
Okay.
out.
They
and see
were
if I can find
awful,
them.
Brett. They
But
were
we're gonna
so
make them
awful.
good. I'm
Yeah,
telling
but you know why? Because we measured the flour wrong.
All
That
right.
was the biggest thing.
All
there.
right. So that's it. Okay. Christmas cookies done.